my feisty Ferrigies. Today we have an updated Tri-Brigade deck profile.
Y'all have been asking for an updated Tri-Brigade list for this format, so we figured we would do exactly that. Tri-Brigade capitalizes on being a mid-range deck. However, in this current format, mid-range decks are kind of in a weird spot, but we did try to build the deck the most optimally that we see fit, and also try to make the deck as consistent as possible.
Try. Sorry, there's gonna be a lot of bad try jokes in this video, just get ready. Spoiler, this isn't the best deck of the format by any means, but you know what? You wanted an update, so we're here to give it to you because it's still a really strong mid-range deck. But before we get into the deck profile, the 24-hour stream is this Friday. Link is in the description box down below. We are streaming for 24 hours. There's gonna be tourneys, giveaways, gaming, all sorts of shenanigans. Why? Because Brian's birthday is tomorrow. At the time this video is up on Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, Brian will be 31 on the 31st, his golden birthday. So we're celebrating by suffering for 24 hours. So hopefully you come stop by, try and stick it out with us. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But with all that being said, make sure you subscribe to the channel, join the sub squad, notification bells turned on, like the video, comment letting us know deck profiles you want to update, and what you think of this list. And that's it. I'm gonna stop talking. I can't breathe. Profile. Wah!
So starting off, we are still playing triple copies of Rescue Cat. I'm actually still a huge fan of this card. I think this card is actually really strong in the Tri-Brigade deck. It is a one card that becomes two cards, and then it obviously just gets you a ton of advantage. And because we are playing Tri-Brigade, a lot of the Tri-Brigade cards actually have effects in the graveyard, so even if this gets negated or doesn't resolve, it's still fine because we have tons of follow-up in our deck as well. And then for our Tri-Brigade package, we are on triple copies of Fractal, triple copies of Nerval, triple copies of Kit, and then the double copies of Karis. And then we are still opting to play the one copy of the Fable Cerebral.
Man, Master Duel players are just molding looking at the Tri-Brigade cards. Nerval the one, ban Fractal, throw the whole deck away.
For anyone who does not know what the Tri-Brigade cards do, they banish Tri-Beast type monsters, aka Beast, Beast Warrior, and Wing Beast monsters from your graveyard for cost. So just know that, like, you can't bell that. It is a cost. Yeah. A lot of people try to bell the Tri-Brigade effects, and it doesn't actually work like that. But then the actual effect is that you special summon a Tri-Beast type monster from your extra deck equal to the number of monsters banished with that link rating. So like if you banished 2, you special a link 2. If you banished 4, you special a link 4.
So for anyone who doesn't know, he pitches from hand to send to grave, Kit also sends to grave, and then Nerval searches, and then Karis special summons himself. What a guy.
By discarding a Tri-Beast type monster, which is why we are playing the copy of the Fabled Cerebral, because when it is discarded, it special summons itself to the side of the field, so it can be a free beast extender and or it's just a free level 2 tuner that comes up in the extra deck.
Literally the goal of all these cards is to just fill up the grave so you can use Karis to, you know, do stuff.
And then we are opting to play the one copy of Rat, the one copy of Ram, and then the other copy of Whiptail. Now I do know, in all honesty, a lot of people are probably clicking off right now because they're seeing the zoo package. As we said, mid-range decks right now are in a very strange spot because they have to be super consistent. In going second, these are just normal summons that literally just don't require any interaction. You slap a Borbo, you make Zeus, you can wipe the board, and then if you have any other extender like the Fractal or any way to like special summon your Karis, you get to do your full Tri-Brigade combo after you've baited 2 negates with a Zeus. Like, these cards are absolutely incredible.
The Zoo cards are really good DPE bait. We are in a DPE format, and normal summons, you know, those are a threat because these just say make Borbo, make Zeus, and so when DPE players see this, they're like, oh, crap, I gotta deal with this. So this is really good bait.
And then the reason that we are playing all 3 of these is because Rat Pierre is a starter card. It can send any of these to the graveyard. You get to make a Chakanine, you special back. It's a free Ferrigy. And I know a lot of people are opting to play the bird version. I still think the bird version is very, very good. However, as we said, mid-range decks, consistency. When you play the Lyralist cards, you're playing a decent chunk of bricks, right? Like, you don't want to draw half of them because you want them in deck. You also are playing the DPE package, which even though that's very powerful, when you draw the 2 bricks, it just feels bad. You need every card in your hand to play through these boards, especially with this deck in particular. We are playing a plethora of going second cards. Obviously, mid-range decks kind of capitalize on that, so we are starting with Forbidden Droplets.
Nice and budget.
Triple copies of Nib in the main. Triple copies of Ash.
Forehead, not feet.
Triple copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. The 1 DD Crow, the 1 Effect Veiler, and then 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence.
These smell like Crossout Designator.
As we said, mid-range decks are kind of in a really weird spot right now, so you want to maximize on your going second cards, especially the ones that have a ton of high impact like Forbidden Droplets, Nibiru, and then Nib is also just such a blowout card when paired with an additional hand trap. So if you have like Nib and Ogre, if you have like Nib and Imperm, Nib Veiler, it's just such a blowout because no matter what they're going to do to try to stop your Nibiru, you're always ensuring that it's going to resolve with that second hand trap.
Yeah, this is a very much 2 hand trap interruption format, and I think that's where mid-range decks really capitalize this format and can actually like play because they play so many hand traps naturally that your odds of seeing 2 are really good and you kind of need to if you want to stand a chance this format.
And we are opting to play the 1 copy of DD Crow because just like the bird version, we can actually search this on our opponent's turn for just an additional form of interruption as well.
Shout out to Shrek.
And then for the remainder of the deck, we are playing the 1 copy of Tenki, our 1 copy of Called By, obviously 2 copies of
Whoa there,
Crossout
Fuji, are you here? Fuji, do you see this nonsense? Man playing 2 Crossout. Why are you playing 2 and not 3, good sir?
Because we are honestly at 41 cards already. We do not want to bump it to 42, and I think a card that is worth playing at 2 instead of 1 is the double copies of Tri-Brigade Revolt.
What? 2 Revolt? This is so weird.
Revolt is one of those grindy cards, especially because A, it's very searchable in this deck, and then B, it really does provide you with that insane follow-up that you need to kind of just push to kill your opponent on the follow-up.
Also, long story short, if you don't know what Revolt does, it says get Shrek banished stuff. But that's it. We're gonna go to the extra deck now. Moving on.
We are playing the 1 copy of Almirage. The reason it's ultra rare is because it is Europrint, and we love Europrint cards. This is realistically just to put your Nerval and or your kit in the graveyard so you can get your plays started. And then we are playing double copies of Ferrigit. Card's absolutely insane.
Shiny and pretty.
Special summons any Tri-Beast type monster from your hand to your side of the field. One of your best extenders in the deck. And shout out to anyone who doesn't know what this card does. This is what you imperm.
Look at us giving you guys the secret spice.
Then along with our Tri-Brigade cards, we are playing the 1 copy of our Tri-Brigade Bear Brim. This literally just searches Revolt.
Yeah, it says get Revolt.
And then we are playing the 1 copy of DDL, aka Double Dragon Lords. This is a quick effect to send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and then target a card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. And then we are playing 1 copy of our Harris Velger, aka the Desperate Doom Eagle.
Same.
And the reason we are playing that, obviously, is because we are playing our 1 copy of Access Code, and we just need a Link 3 to get into it. And then pretty standard, we are playing double copies of Shrek. This is our Link 4 non-targeting banish. Whenever it leaves the field and hits the graveyard, you can search any Tri-type monster with the level equal to the number of Tri-type monsters you have banished. So if you have like 4 cards banished, you could search a level 4 or lower.
He's also an absolute unit, stacked to death, banishes non-targeting, beautiful. Look up Tri-Brigade Oath, look at his beautiful face. I love him. I am a simp lord for Omen.
All right.
Where are my simp lords at? Somebody tell me, right?
We're gonna move on and negate that with our negate machine right here, aka Appaloosa.
Wait, did you just negate your own Shrek?
Negating your crazy comment.
It's not an effect, bro. It's a lifestyle.
And then speaking of negates, one of the reasons I prefer this deck over every other version is because we are playing the 1 copy of Herald of Arclight. This just shuts off Forbidden Droplet. It shuts off a lot of other cards as well, being a floodgate. And then obviously we're playing the Zoo package. I don't feel like we need to explain this, but this just helps us make Zeus.
Beep, beep, Zeus.
And with all that being said, let's get right into a combo and showcase exactly what this deck is capable of and why we are choosing to play this variant over any other.
All right, time for the combo tutorial. We like to do a random 5-card test hand for every single deck profile that we put up because we want to show you guys a realistic ceiling and how the deck actually works because we don't expect everyone to know what all these lines of play are and how the cards actually work. So we're going to do just that, but make sure you guys are subscribed and all that fun stuff. Check out the links in the description box down below, and thanks for being here. Love you, kisses.
Now, that being said, we're going to do a few of these and then...
Oh, I gotta cut it. Sorry, I just stared at the deck for like 5 whole seconds.
All right, we're gonna start off with
rock.
a nib, pretty strong. Oh, my hood is getting stuck over there. Kit, Crossout Designator, Fire Formation, Tenki.
Oh my god. Ew, it's so good. All
right, so for what it's worth, right? So I know a lot of people are on the bird version, and I think that version is very good. Not knocking it, but like when you see hands like this, this is just really strong. Let's just pretend that we're going second, right? Our 6th card, it's Ram. It's literally a going second card. So I know we didn't open double hand traps, but we have a crazy blowout card. This is follow up or like an extender. We have Kit. Like, all right, anyways, we're gonna go first because that's what this deck likes to do, but I think this deck goes second just fine, especially with the Zoo package. So we're gonna normal summon our Rescue Cat and then activate the effect. Oh, what if I have Ash? We open the Crossout, so it's not really a big deal. So we're gonna resolve this now. This is gonna summon our copy of Kit and then our copy of Karis.
I also think the funniest thing about Rescue Cat is your opponent always lives in fear and they're like, do I Ash the Rescue Cat? Are they playing Gamma? And that mystery usually lets the Rescue Cat resolve. So it's nice because you have Crossout anyway, but that fear of Gamma really does loom over opponents.
You can also just bait it with the Tenki, but
true.
Whatever. We're gonna link for 2 here. This is gonna make our copy of Ferrigit, and now obviously because our Kit hit the graveyard, we're gonna activate activate the effect. Kit is going to send Nerval, and then Nerval's going to activate. Nerval's going to search our Karis here. Now we're going to activate the Ferrogi's effect, special summoning the Kit from the hand, and we're going to activate the Kit's effect, banishing all 4 cards in our graveyard. Remember, this is cost. This is going to special summon our copy of Omen here. I know Omen's not going to banish anything, but we just need the material and the search. So we're going to take the Kit and the Omen and link these off into our copy of Bear Broom. And now obviously the Shireg is going to search now because we have 4, so we can search a 4 or lower. We'll search our fabled Cerberil here, or however you say that card's name, because God, I literally can't say this card's name to save my life. But this card, as we said, remember when it's discarded, it special summons itself. So now we're going to activate the Bear Broom's effect. We're going to discard the Cerberil and the Karis that we searched before. We are going to special summon the banished copy of Karis all the way over here, and then that will trigger the Cerberil because it was discarded. It will special summon itself. Here, we are obviously going to be locked if we put this into the graveyard. We don't want to do that yet, but we are going to activate the Karis' effect, banishing 2 more cards in our graveyard. This gets us our copy of Double Dragon Lords. I didn't say this before, but just keep in mind, these zones actually really matter. Like, you have to have the Bear Broom arrow pointing to the left so that you can summon the DDL here. But now that we have this, we have a 2-tuner and a 2 non-tuner.
Oh my god, for Floodgate of the Arclight, everyone's favorite walking little baby Negate and Floodgate. I hate him.
So now we're going to take our Ferrogi's and our Bear Bloom, and we're going to put it in the graveyard.
For Smapaloosa, look at her, Bow of the Goddess, all in all.
And now we're going to trigger our Bear Bloom is Chainlink 1, and then our Ferrogi's is Chainlink 2, because you do not want your Bear Broom to get negated, obviously, so we're going to chain block. Ferrogi's now going to draw. Oh, wow.
Look, there's that second hand trap. It all works itself out. This deck's so good at fixing its hands. It's crazy.
We're going to put the Tenki back, in all honesty.
What a flex, putting Tenki back because you just don't need it.
And now we'll just search. This is going to grab us our Revolt. And then, honestly, I feel, like, really confident here. Like, with Herald up, it's really hard to, like, kind of lose. Plus, we have a 2-man Apo. Plus, we have a Bounce. Plus, we have Revolt. Plus, we're going to search DD Crow on our opponent's turn. Plus, we have Ash. Nib seems like a little bit of, like, overkill. I'd rather have Cross out to stop something if they have like an imperm for the Apo, or if they have like an Ogre for something else. I'm gonna put the Nib back, and we're just gonna say that we're gonna set 2 cards here, and we're gonna pass our turn. Whenever our opponent does anything, obviously we have the Appaloosa negate, another Appaloosa negate. We have Ash whenever we want. Keep in mind, if Herald is still face up, Ash is in the hand, so it does not go to the graveyard, but we do have Revolt, so we're gonna activate the Revolt. We can bring back the Ferrogi's. Remember, this was summoned properly, so we can summon. Then, obviously, we're gonna get everyone's favorite, which is Nerval, and then we can just summon back a Kit. Immediately after this resolves, we will continually link summon, grabbing our second copy here of Shireg. Shireg will non-targeting banish any card. So I typically like to structure chain links with Nerval 1, Omen 2, and then Ferrogi's chain link 3, because we already know what this card is. It's not going to matter. We'll draw a card. This honest, it's irrelevant. Omen then banishes, and then Nerval will search a Fractal for the follow-up. And I know we haven't searched DD Crow yet, so how we are going to do that is whenever our opponent has any other interruption, we can just chain our DDL, send the Omen, and then Omen can now search a card, which is the DD Crow. Keep in mind, we still have the Herald Floodgate, we still have the DDL for our following turn, we also have Fractal for our following turn, and we have double hand trap.
Just make sure in the meantime you use the Herald before you attempt to use the DD Crow, because you can't DD Crow when Herald is live, so feel free to use this at any point for an Omni negate, and then, you know, when they do something with their DPE, or if their DPE ends up in the graveyard, then you can DD Crow it. But just make sure you take care of this before you try to do anything. Don't DD Crow.
Yeah, make sure you're reading your hand traps, because there are a lot of hand traps that say discard, and then discard to the graveyard. You can't graveyard under Herald, which is good because it also stops your opponent under a lot of things as well.
Yeah, Valor is the same as DD Crow. It says it has to go to the graveyard, so please be mindful of what your cards do. I know it's hard as a Yu-Gi-Oh player to read, but please do it. But that's it. That's the deck. I hope this was at least helpful and informative for you. I know the deck hasn't changed a whole lot, but you know what? It's a new format. We figured we'd update the deck anyway because, you know, we got DPE running around, Scythe locking, which this deck doesn't really have an issue with because they play so many outs to Scythe. And if you just want a really fun mid-range deck to play, this is definitely a great option still.
It's way more budget than Sword Soul.
I was just gonna say, it's a lot cheaper than Sword Soul. So if you want to play Sword Soul without actually, you know, being homeless, this is the way. But anyway, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We'll be having a video up tomorrow. The 24-hour stream is this Friday. Check the links in all the description box and all that fun stuff, whatever. Anyway, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. We love you. You matter. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.